guys, we're back for another week of Both Sides Podcast. I am your host, young guy Cheems, along with my my lovely co-host Tsunami Mami, aka Gigi, aka Gloria. Hopefully you guys had a good week and missed us and ready to jump into it and pretty much discuss with us to see what we have going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yep. Yeah, we definitely do have a lot to talk about. I think today's episode is going to be real interesting. I'm actually kind of excited about it. So, I mean, I guess we could just hop right into it. How was your week?
Week was good. Honestly, there's not really much going on this week, but it was a good week.
And it's so funny. Like, I always try to remember what I do before I get to the podcast so I can have everything listed out. I was able to go to the gym consistently.
Hey? What's consistently?
Like Monday through Friday.
Nice.
Then I went to work after that. I'm trying to stay away from eating meat. I don't know how possible that would be because now, like, you know how everybody does have a cycle of cooking that they do for like a large amount of time. So I still have to get through the cycle of the last meal that we made. So there's still a lot of meat over there. So as soon as that clears out, then I'm gonna.
So once you're done eating the meat, then you're gonna be good to go.
Yep, you gotta eat the meat.
Or beat the meat, whichever one. So,
but apart from that, I mean, the week was cool, but I think the week was more so interesting for what happened to other people as opposed to, I guess, for me.
Yeah, regular shit happened in my week, so clearly.
Actually, no. Another thing, I mean, kind of excited. Like I'm working. I don't know if I told people I'm working on a project that. Hopefully will be released soonish. At least the first part of the project will be released soon. And I'm excited to see exactly the direction it's going.
I'm also the silent partner. Even though I'm not so silent anymore, but I'm on the back scenes.
Right. But it's coming along. It's coming along very well. Like I said, the first part is coming out very soon. So you guys hopefully should see that. It's something I think everybody would like, especially if you're into black spaces and black experiences and just having a location with just black people in general.
So is that what a black space is? I was just about to ask you, what is a black space? I
mean, in a sense where it's like maybe the event is hosted by or a space where as black people could just come together and just either talk about things that are going on or events or party or whatever it is. I don't want to release too much info now, but it's something in the works that I'm actually very excited about. And hopefully it does come to fruition and it gets as big as possible. But you guys, that's pretty much I guess the highlight of my week though.
All right, so let's hop into it.
Oh, now before we do that though, we did say we're going to start like plugging in some stuff. So we have people that I don't know if you do know me. I am a very big advocate of starting your own things and taking the courage and stepping out of your comfort zone to create whatever it is you feel like you can create. Whether it's a magazine, whether it is a shoe line, whether you're creating, a network for podcasts and things like that. I'm very big on, you taking that step, whether it fails or not. You always learn something from it, and you kind of use that and to fuel your next project.
Right.
So I want to just take this time, hopefully going forward, to highlight some things I see some people doing. That I think that people can fuck with and just get behind. We have Samantha. She listens to the podcast,
Samantha.
And I see her. She cooks a lot. She from time to time. So
I'm still waiting for my jollof quinoa jollof. When you hear this, make sure it's ready next time.
She made it for me, but I don't eat shrimp. She has shrimp in it, so I can eat it. So yeah.
So where is it?
This was a while ago. She ate it. But what Samantha's doing right now, she is doing handmade crochet units. That hair with crochet. I'm guessing.
Crochet. Yeah, so they use the crochet needle that they use crochet
Crochet?
Crochet yarn? What? Wait, what is it? Whatever. The thing they used to make
crochet.
Sweater stuff. Yes.
Okay, but yeah, she does handmade crochet units, and from what I see, that the hair is dope. One thing I have noticed though from her crocheting is that a lot of the girls I see wear it have really fat asses.
Wow.
And I'm very big supporter of.
So what? Crochet hair and fat asses? Is that what it is? So what if she got a flat ass? Then what happens then?
Shout out to you, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, I just want to highlight that she is doing her thing. So if you are into crochet units, or you do know somebody who is looking for somebody for crochet units, you can check her on Instagram. It's Sam's 911 _ So that's SAMS 911 _ check out what she has on there, and just fuck with her, hit her up.
And also I want to shout out one of my closest friends, Krista Pottinger. She just created her fashion line. She actually had a fashion line with one of my other friends, Dorothy, before, but now she branched out and she's doing her own thing. So she's on Instagram. The tag is The Fine Linen, and she's just creating basic, simple pieces, modest pieces for the everyday woman. So check her out, and I love her dearly, so please support. And she just started, so
I fuck with Krista. I love Krista.
Yeah,
I remember those old days. I remember the first time I first saw Krista and Dorothy. But anyway, that's enough for another time.
Yeah, that's definitely for another time.
Hopefully we can link up. We can all link up soon and go do something.
She's coming to New York next weekend, so if you want to come.
I don't know, but we'll see.
Oh, okay.
All right. I guess we can hop into it to see what's going on. There was a lot in, the celebrity world, social media, niggas doing dumb shit, but that never ends. And I'm happy it never ends because that gives us shit to talk about. But I guess we can start with Tyrese and his rant on Baller Alert or whatever it was.
First of all, I honestly... the thing that makes me so sad about Tyrese is that I'm thinking about Sweet Lady. I'm thinking about all the gems that he brought us, all the movies he's done. And every time he gets on Instagram and starts typing, I don't know what compels him. Like, sometimes I wish I knew his thought process, because all this stuff that's going on, why would you even put your business out there? First, it was like the thing with The Rock, when he was like, I'm trying to sex you, haven't hit my line, so you decided to go on Instagram and be like, hey, what's up? Then the whole thing with his... the mother of his child, talking about, I'm just trying to raise my daughter. Why are you putting all of that on the internet? Can you
just for people who don't know, such as myself, can you give us some context into what's kind of going on?
So with Tyrese, I guess his the mother of his child filed for a restraining order because she said there was some abuse going on with their daughter. She's 10 years old and some other things. And I'm just like, so the judge granted the restraining order. So of course Tyrese got upset, and understandably so, but however, he took his ass to Instagram and decided to say all this shit, and I'm just like, why? I can't. I wish Tyrese would never speak again in this life. I mean,
it's I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. Somebody like Tyrese, he does I feel like his head is always he's always thinking about something. He always has something on his mind that he always has to that he has to get off his chest. And in something in regards to this, I don't know exactly how who's around him that he can talk to about it and things like that. So maybe him talking on social media is a way for him to express himself.
Wrong. That is the worst way to express yourself. First of all, I feel like... in terms of personal matters and all that stuff going on that clearly probably hasn't been resolved with the mother of the child. You're over here talking about all this stuff, and I'm just like, yo, he's the same one talking about think like a man type thing and woman. He's just always saying he's always on some bullshit. So I cannot. It makes me so sad.
I mean, is there any proof that he was abusing his daughter though?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
Because I mean, he doesn't strike me as an abuser, but then again, you got to ask yourself, what does an abuser really look like?
Exactly.
But it's interesting. I mean, I don't know the specifics of their case. I don't know exactly what's going on. It's real interesting.
Ain't nothing interesting. He just needs to shut the fuck up and keep his personal matters off of
I mean, he's
media.
clearly hurt. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, one thing I don't think I would ever do is, silence a person when it's visible, that they are going through something. They are being hurt, and in this case, this is his way of, kind of showing that he's hurt, or this is going. I would never do it. I can't put my personal business on there just because that's just me. Like, I'm just that person that would suffer in silence than rather have somebody look at me like that nigga's going through this or knows the ins and out of my personal business. That's not something I would put on social media. But at the same time, I can't use what I would
wouldn't do.
Is that I can't really project myself onto Tyrese. I mean, if that's the way he wants to handle it, I wish him all the best. I do know he's known for just his comments on Instagram.
Like, yo, it'd be some dumb ass shit. I really be sitting there like,
Tyrese the love doctor, man. That's what's his name on Baby Boy?
Jody.
Okay, I think I've probably seen like 20 minutes of that movie. I've never.
Are you
really
serious?
seen it.
Get your legs together.
I think doesn't he have like a sex scene with Taraji? Mm-hmm. That's the only part I'll probably go watch. Honestly, the movie.
It's like one of them classic movies.
Yeah.
That you gotta watch.
But I mean, it's I mean, to pretty much to wrap it up. I mean, I don't know exactly if he has abused his daughter. Then again, you just never know what these niggas do in the dark. One person might have his face to the public and be a whole different person, behind closed doors when we're not looking at them. So
hell yeah.
I'm praying that when I do pray, I am gonna pray that he
you gonna pray for Tyrese?
Pray that he gets his daughter back, and because losing a child, I don't know, man, that's wild. Oh, excuse me. But moving along with domestic abuse, though, this nigga Extension.
Tenacion.
I don't know if that's his name.
How you say his name? Tenation.
Extension.
No, honestly, I think it might be. Is it Extension?
Extentacion. Is he Spanish? He's probably for
Tentacion.
Tentacion.
Yo, wait, that was not what you said.
Extentacion. Anyway, Extension.
I like Extension better.
Yeah, he's been on some fuck shit. And I really don't want to give this nigga any time of day, but I feel like we do have to, talk about it. He's one person that if these allegations are true, that they need to find. You know how people go like shark diving, like they put you in a cage and they throw you underwater, and the sharks try to get at you. What they need to do is put him in there, right? Give him an oxygen tank that lasts maybe 12 hours. Leave him in there and lock the key.
That nigga don't need no oxygen. What he needs to be is, in that case, honestly, there is no country for someone who is alleged. I'm gonna just say allegedly because we really don't know. Abusing his pregnant girlfriend. I don't give a fuck what you was doing, what you thought, what was going on. Like laying hands on a pregnant person. No, you could throw him to the sharks. You don't even got to put a cage, no oxygen tank. He could just go.
I mean, to give you guys some context to it. So before Extension, became popular in this songs and this music scene, he was a very troubled person, and he's still a troubled person. I guess he had this ongoing case about him domestically abusing his pregnant ex-girlfriend, which to me is wild, because that woman has this carrying your child. This is somebody that you cared about. And just I guess I would say love. I don't know if you love the person, or I guess you just put a baby in her or whatever, just wanted to fuck. But it's somebody that you thought was good enough to at least have sex with. So she should at least have some. You should care to some extent, right?
Right.
So she's carrying the mother of your child, and you're doing things.
She's carrying the mother of your child.
Excuse me. She's carrying the mother. She's carrying the child. She's carrying
the mother of your child. I was like, oh.
She's carrying your child, and you're here having her fucking. Well, I think it was pushing her down some shit. Let me go through exactly to this page where they were saying.
And then allegedly, I think they said that he got angry one day, whatever, and told her she should decide between like a pitchfork or a flashlight, some shit like that, as to what he should insert inside of her. And I'm like, he needs to be locked up in a psych ward.
So he broke her phone for complimenting another man's jewelry. The same day, he told her to choose between a barbecue pitchfork and a barbecue cleaner.
Yeah, I definitely said flashlight.
Being put in her vagina. I don't understand what kind of human being. I just don't get it. Like, why the fuck? Like, how does that even come up in your thoughts? Like, yes, let me decide to use a fucking barbecue pitchfork and stick in your vagina. You know, that's just
he's sick.
That nigga's crazy.
Lock that nigga up.
I don't fucking get it. And niggas like this don't deserve to walk this earth. I really do think that he needs to be locked away forever, where nobody can ever fucking find him. Like, somebody needs to the nigga who planted that WikiLeaks shit needs to frame it on this nigga on extension, so the CIA go lock him up in some black site where nobody can hear of him ever again.
Yeah, because I think, isn't it, if you are locked up in solitary confinement type thing, like, you die faster because of lack of social interaction?
I've been never. I don't know.
No, I'm asking. Like, I mean, have you heard that? Because I think that's something true. Like, because if you isolate yourself, then I think you die faster.
How the fuck do you even Google that? Like, let's go Google.com.
Google. Do you die faster if you locked up?
Like, how do you even think about something like that, though, Gloria? You need help, bro.
No, I think, all right, because you're not gonna play me. Let me do my Googles now. You can continue.
I mean, but even with that, so that came out. That was a new report that he allegedly asked his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend to choose between a barbecue pitchfork being stuck in her vagina versus a barbecue cleaner. I don't know what kind of human being would ever think about that, but
what's a barbecue cleaner? Like
barbecue?
Those little things that scrape off.
I think so, yeah.
The grill. Oh, fun.
And I just don't even understand how and why you would even. That's not even something that any sane person should think of. Like, let me choose between a barbecue to put in your vagina. Are you gonna scrape the vagina clean? Like, or what? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's just very wild.
So everybody, there was when that report came out, everybody on social media, reacted to it, and this fucking nigga saw the response of everybody saying, call him a domestic abuser and things like that. So he comes out with the video.
And what he say, Chima?
And you know how, like, you open up a camera and your camera super zoomed into your eye. So that's how it was. Like, it was zoomed into his eye and his mouth, and he was talking to her. So he was saying, things like, if I'm gonna fuck your little sister in the throat, I would domestically abuse your little sister's pussy. I'm like, and this is a nigga who's fighting a domestic abuse case, right? And you're coming out with that. Listen, judge. I don't know how much I gotta pay you.
The thing when they're like, guard,
take this nigga away, because I don't fucking understand why.
You don't even need a case at this point. Like, I feel like he just really exposed himself.
And things that, like I said, I don't even know why I'm really giving this nigga this amount of time, because he's somebody I feel like it's very irrelevant. I don't know who listens to his music. Honestly, let me say this: if my family, my entire clan was on the line, right? Their lives were on the line, and the only way to save them was to not even sing a lyric, right? To mention a song that he made. There will be no more family. I'll be the only one left, because I do not know one song
that
this nigga's
song,
ever made.
Look at Me.
I don't know what that is, Gloria.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. That's literally it. And then he's like yelling, and it's like some like angsty like.
I have never heard that. I have never heard one song. And what's so troubling? This nigga is only 19.
Oh, he's only 19?
He's only fucking 19.
Oh no, he must have been through some things in his life. That's not somewhat. He's 19.
I'm an advocate for mental health, right? But when somebody is just too far gone, you just got to lock them up and just lock them away.
I don't know. Lock them up is not even doing enough.
There's no more he can't go through the rehabilitation process. Like,
say that word again.
Rehabilitation process. Excuse me. Every week I'm always fucking up one word. Last week was some shit. I can't remember, but yeah, it's wild. And
honestly, I think just even locking him up is too mild. honestly, just, you know what? Just torture him. Just put him in Guantanamo Bay. Isn't it that where they torture people? And just torture him because, one, he's hidden pregnant women. He's talking about domestically abusing your little sister pussy. You don't think that's somebody who's a threat to society? You don't think that
14, bro. Like, when I was listening to this, I was like,
so you think they should just lock him up and then give him 3 meals a day and he could go work out at the rag? He could go get a GED in prison? No.
I think they torture that nigga.
Send him to North Korea, actually.
He sent him to my village to go farm for my grandparents. So for my grandparents' family. That's enough hard labor right there. But like I said, I don't want to spend, I really don't want to spend that much time talking about this irrelevant nigga. Like, extension, go somewhere, man. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you.
So I'm moving right along to jemele-hill. No. Let's talk about what's her name?
I got a 7:00 phone call that we need to talk about this.
No, okay.
So on Thursday, like I said, I've been to the gym all week, right? So I wake up at like 6:30. I go to the gym and come back. While I'm at the gym, I get a phone call from Alexis. So at 7:00, I'm looking like, Alexa and I we don't talk on the phone that often. No, we talk regularly, but now on some let me call you at 7 a.m. type shit, right? So this has to be an emergency. So, but I'm lifting the weights. I'm like, you know how like you can decline call and send an automatic text message.
Yeah.
So I do that. I'm like, I'm at the gym right now. If it's an emergency, I could call you right back. I could just call you when I'm done. So she's like, nah, it's cool. Just call me back. So I'm all right, no problem. So I get in the car. I'm like, let me call Alexis back, which is something I've actually been working on, calling people back when I say I'm going to call them back.
Wow, terrible.
Anyway, so I call her back. She's like, yo, Chima, we need to talk about this. You need to talk about this Nas and Nicki thing. I was like, nigga, that's what you called me at 7 a.m. for? To talk about...
Well, I'm glad she called you at 7 a.m. because she called me at 6:30 a.m. to be like, so I didn't answer because it's 6:30 a.m. And see, I talk to Alexis regularly, so I know it wasn't going to be on something important. So I said, I'm going to finish taking a shower, get ready. I was fully clothed when I called her back. She had the nerve to be like, you need to talk about Nicki and Nas on your podcast this week. I'm like, Alexis, is this an emergency? You couldn't even text this to me. Like, hey, you know what? I think you should talk about whatever on your podcast.
That's why I love Alexis so much, because she's so different. Like, I really wonder how her head functions, because... the shit that we're going through Alexis' head is so different from what any regular person would do.
Yo, I really looked at my phone like, not now.
It's so funny. But I mean, to get into, I mean, for some reason, everybody's been making such a big deal about Nas and Nicki being together. And
I don't care.
I mean, exactly. Like, to me, it's so weird. Like, Alexa was saying that, Nicki is so corny, that how can Nas, of all people, want to talk about, want to date her and things like that. And I'm like, at the end of the day, like, what you see in somebody is what you see in somebody. Like, what Nicki shows us for the most part is the public side of things, right? So her social media, her being corny or whatever, what have made.
Do you think Nicki is corny? Yo, just stop. Do you think Nicki is corny?
She has her corny moments. I think as of late, ever since I think she's going through something psychologically where I don't know. I don't know. I like
all of that. She's going through something psychologically.
Everything boils down to the psychology, right? To the way you think about and doing things and why you're doing it for a reason, right? So ever since I think she broke up with Meek, I think she's been trying to find herself, find exactly where she fits in. And I think she, when she came up with that twirly thing, I'm going to Croatia, bitch, shit or whatever, and walked on the plane.
No. Wait, was it no? Oh, she was taking a private jet to Prague.
To Prague.
Oh, you bitches can't even spell Prague. I was like, wow.
Then the whole, we're not going to make a video, enough twerking, pick up a book and read or some shit.
Yeah, that was like.
Yeah. Like I said, she's going through something. I think she's trying to find her place. I think, Nas has probably been that person maybe by her side that's been helping her get along. So. It's very hard.
This ain't a shoulder to cry on, it's a deck to ride on.
You used to that, huh?
Nope.
Okay.
Anyway. I was just saying that's the euphemism.
Stop speaking.
That people use.
So I mean, it's like I personally don't like I said, she might be corny to us, but we don't know her on a personal level, right? That's all we see through the social media. And it's not like she's on there literally 24 hours a day where she's tweeting everything she's doing or how she's feeling about anything, or you know, giving us a view as to what she's doing with her life, you know. If Nas saw something in her, hey, so be it. You know,
right.
Exactly.
Like,
you know,
that's not anybody's business.
You know, let them flourish. And I think the main reason why people are so up in arms about it is because of the relationship between Nas and Nicki. If you take a look back at when Nicki started dating Meek, right? Everybody was like, how the fuck can she date Meek? Meek is so lame, this and that. You know, he has nappy hair, he yells in his music, his Twitter fingers, blah blah blah. Nicki's so much better. She needs to be with somebody on her level, this and that. And you know,
now she got somebody on her level.
Okay, no, I'm gonna get to that, right? So, and at that point in time, like, everybody saw Meek. Same thing with Nicki. Everybody saw Meek with this public figure, what he was doing at certain times of his day, what he decided to tweet out, you know, being Twitter fingers with Drake and things like that. So we automatically assumed that this nigga was just corny and he was just a whack dude and
because
lame.
he is.
And you know, he can be, right, but the way he treats Nicki, right, or the way he treated Nicki at that point in time, was probably why she stayed with him for that long. You know, she enjoyed him, and the way you are with a girl, the way you are with somebody that you really enjoy, is going to be completely different with how you are with the public. I don't give a fuck about what niggas think, right? If I'm with somebody I really care about, who is like me against, you know, me and her versus the world or some shit like that, right? You know, like
some Bonnie and Clyde,
you know,
shit.
But without the crime, you know, because we don't want to get deported and shit like that. Like
you were born in Camden, New Jersey. Where are they deporting you to?
That's just me, though. Like I said.
Oh, okay.
But exactly. But anyway, but yeah, like, so we just have this whole idea that we kind of project, or we kind of want people to be in these relationships that we have created for them, because they're celebrities and public figures, when really they're just really regular people who just have more money and, you know, and more spotlight on them, so they can really live their lives. It's like somebody tell you, no, don't date him because this person is whack, go date somebody else. Like, you're gonna feel offended, right? You're gonna take that to offense, like, bitch, who the fuck are you? You know. And that's the same relationship with Nas and Nicki, where everybody feels like Nas is a rap legend. Nas has money. He doesn't really need Nicki. Nicki is just corny girl who is trying to find a place and is kind of mad because Cardi B is doing very well and things like that.
Shout out to Cardi.
Shout out to her, but that's I worry for Cardi, but I'll talk about that later. But where you know, Nas this rap legend, and you know, Nicki is I won't say she's a rap legend, but she's there. You know, she's up there as well.
Up there where?
I mean, up there in terms of, I mean, how many female rappers are there that are quote unquote legends, right?
Yeah, no, I'm saying, because you're saying up there. So, do you consider her to be
up there? Up there in the sense that she's almost on the same level with Nas compared to how Meek was with her, right? Everybody was saying that Meek and Nicki were on different levels. Like, how can Nicki date her? That's the same way people may feel about Nas and Nicki, where everybody's saying Nas is on a different level. Maybe he should date somebody that's closer to him. I think somebody. Who's the person he dated before? Khalees, or that was his wife or something?
Yeah, Khalees or something.
You know, he's gone from Khalees to, you know, to Nicki and stuff like that. So to us, because she seems so corny, it's like, how can Nas want to date somebody that's this corny and this whack? But you never know.
Whack niggas and whack females are cuffed every single day. It does not matter. It's whoever is dating them, as long as they're not corny.
And you never know. Like, Nicki might suck some amazing dick, dog. Like, you just never know. Like,
so that's the only reason why he wouldn't pursue.
Listen, people been staying for sex for the wrong reason. We see Molly and Dro. We see. Listen, I'm sure there's somebody listening to this podcast right now who's still fucking that ex because that dick is so good, and instead of you to leave, you're still there in this toxic situation just because of fucking neck and dick. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Have you ever been in that situation?
I mean, I think everybody has, though. Like,
I didn't say everybody. I said, have you?
I said, I think everybody has. I said,
though. Have you?
Anyway, but I think, you know, I don't know. I don't want to spend too much on Nas and Nicki. I wish them the best.
First of all, Nas is fine as hell. And how old did he just turn? Like 40
something.
Oh my God. I would date him currently right now.
He's a very handsome man.
In his old age. Just.
No, he's a very handsome man. He definitely exfoliates. He definitely exfoliates and he drinks a lot of water and green tea. So shout out to him, and he has money too. Money definitely gives you this certain kind of glow.
Yeah, because I feel like they be getting all them facials and shit like that. That's why, like, when Alicia Keys was like, "Oh, she's not doing the no makeup thing." I'm like, yeah, but you have like dermatologists and facials and all that shit on deck. My regular schmegular degular ass. Imagine me on TV with my dark skin, hyperpigmentation all over the place. Like,
that's one thing I do want to. I do want to. Work on my skin, get a dermatologist, because I told you I want to be a Tumblr god. I want to be able to take those dark skin photos with my mouth opened up and doing some weird poses.
Yo, if you see Chima right now, you're looking like a T-Rex.
Right beside like a nice bright colorful background, holding a flower, putting flowers in my beard. But my skin's so melanin-y. It's just so nice and dark and chocolatey.
You know what I hate about like those like chocolate people, whatever, like when they be taking the pictures? If you on some like weird shit, like the one, what's his name? I forgot. Well, one of them niggas, when he was over there eating the chocolate bar and he just bit right into the chocolate bar, and I really was like, why? I was like, why is this even a thing? Like eating a bowl of cereal.
That was tossing a salad, right?
Yeah. I'm like, yo, that is so like, am I supposed to be enticed because you sitting there eating a fucking chocolate bar?
Also
or eating some fucking cereal?
He's giving his lusty eyes and trying to eat the chocolate bar.
And I was just like,
the fucking chocolate bar.
And you bit right into it instead of breaking a piece off. Like, who does that?
Oh, man.
Like, I was like, so I actually, that should be so weird to me. I just be looking at it like, oh man, it does absolutely nothing.
But shout out to Nas and Nicki. I hope that when he is giving back shots, the ass doesn't explode. In his face or anything. Oh,
fuck, because Meek did say she had a leaky booty.
Yeah, listen, I hope that ass doesn't explode, but she should have some money to go get that taped up.
Yeah, they get it taped, but that's the thing, like, son, even like, so there was a special on like Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, right? And it was talking about how like a lot of girls on set, like their butts be leaking and shit just be, and I'm just like, yo, imagine if you just sitting there walking, like somebody gets up and you see like a little puddle. I would be so blown. I'm like, yo, alcohol, like, like you see uncomfortable shit. Like, let's just say like a girl, like if she leaks a little bit on her period, it's like an uncomfortable conversation. Like, oh, hey girl, like, I'm sorry, like your shit is leaking. Like, imagine if you got up and it's just your booty's leaking. At least that's natural. Like, that shit will probably happen. But your booty's leaking and I gotta come over to you and be like, girl, I'm sorry, like, but your butt is leaking. Like, what do you even do in that situation? Like, you wear a diaper? Like, what happened?
It's weird. I mean, one day we're gonna have to touch on these unrealistic standards that are set by Instagram and social media and men, and the this and how patriarchy kind of plays a role into why women try to alter their bodies and things like that, whether or not women are saying that they're doing it for them or they're doing it for men. One day we'll talk about that. But let's move on to something a little more pressing. Yeah, jemele-hill, that nice.
How you say her name? Jemele?
I think Jemele.
Oh, okay.
Such a beautiful chocolate woman. White chicks is my shit, yo.
Yo, when he was like with the oysters, when he had the oysters, and he was like, wait, what he say? If he was like, oh, you can see what I could do with my tongue, and he put the whole oyster in. I was like,
this was the funny part of that movie when he finally, I think Marlon revealed himself. You mean to tell me you're not
white?
But also fine. A beautiful chocolate man. Anyway, but jemele-hill, if you guys don't know who she is an ESPN correspondent. I was going to say analyst, but I guess it's the same thing.
I guess
she's a journalist. Okay, yeah. She's on ESPN. She has a show with Michael Smith, and where they kind of bring the culture. What I mean, the culture, black folks, the culture to sports and ESPN, just kind of bring hip hop culture and things, like that to it. And, we are in the age of, this orange president that we have here. And how tensions are rising. And we just had, the recent Charlottesville things.
Yeah, his face looks like smoked salmon. Like, the color of... Every time I look at him, I swear to God, I think, or maybe I'm just greedy. I can't stop.
He looks like he can't open his eyes a lot just because the sun is always there. And, ew.
He's just such a weird looking person.
Oh man, Melania really dedicated to that cause because that money must be long.
The money is long, but
for her to be,
is her sanity long? I'm sure she's sitting there like, yo, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Like, she really be taking old wrinkly dick, like, ew.
You think they still be fucking? I don't.
Probably not. I mean, probably not anymore. Probably not, because they are married, they have kids. So at this point, she really doesn't need to fuck
Didn't
him.
they have just
one son? I think
one son. Yeah, right?
She really doesn't need to. She secured the bag already. She really doesn't need to do anything anymore. If they get divorced or anything, they're not going to get divorced one because of the presidency. But I don't know how she did it. That's a woman that deserves.
When the money talks, you know.
I guess so, but let's not deviate from that. So pretty much, this orange orangutan. Actually, no, that's actually disrespectful to the orangutan. This orange guy, Donald Trump, him siding with Charlottesville and not really taking a firm stance on white supremacy and things like that. Jemele-Hill came out with tweets a couple days ago saying that, she said Donald Trump is a white supremacist who is unfit to be president, and if not for the color of his skin, he wouldn't be in office. Pretty much to sum up all her tweets, it was like a thread of tweets. And I don't know if that is incorrect, because you imagine somebody like President Obama doing the same exact fuck shit that Donald Trump is doing. Listen,
you can't even imagine, because that shit would not even go down.
There will never be another black president for the next, as long as America exists.
Right, as long as
listen, and it's so crazy how he's able to get away with so much shit just because, one, he is a man, and one, he is white. And how, I guess the powers that be, I don't want to get into that, but I want to keep it as light as possible, keep it focus on Jemele-Hill. But there was so much outrage in what Jemele-Hill tweeted. She got, during a White House press conference with the White House press secretary Sarah Sanders, she was asked a question about Jemele-Hill, and the reporter asked her, how do you feel about her comments so far? Does Donald Trump, does he respond to it? Has he said anything? And Sarah Sanders was pretty much like, she doesn't know if he is aware of it, but that's an outrageous comment that she made, and it's a fireable offense.
That's so fucking stupid.
and that Trump, that she went out to talk about how Trump is working on building the country and bringing African Americans together, the country together, and all that. He's speaking with top prominent heads of the African American community. I'm just thinking about like, who the fuck is this nigga talking to?
Right. And even if he's talking to them, what the fuck that mean? That's like, oh, you see me go to the gym, doesn't mean I actually worked out. Like, oh, you see him talking to these people. Did anything actually get done? Like,
and it's so wild. So I mean, ESPN has been on some black backlash, because how Trump has Twitter fingers, and his supporters are like, oh, fire her, blah blah blah. So ESPN came out with a statement that what Jemele-Hill said doesn't reflect the positions of ESPN and blah blah blah. The I guess the right thing, quote unquote, to do from a business standpoint. And I understand why they did it. At the end of the day, you are a business. You are about your money. You're not really trying to take sides in the political matters and things like that. But at the end of the day,
but them essentially doing that was, I felt like, taking a side. And I think too is that, yes, she does work for ESPN, but it's not like she referenced ESPN anywhere in her tweets. I feel like, so are we not allowed to speak on how we feel just because of our employer?
No, that's definitely a question that we're going to talk about. But even before then, just before we do get to that, though, I mean, when ESPN did put that out, Jemele-Hill did come out with a statement saying that she does apologize to putting ESPN in that position, that wasn't her intent. It was her personal beliefs, and obviously, to me, I don't think she really had to explain that, because. It's my fucking Twitter account. Like, right. I'm tweeting for me. I'm talking about it. So is it that everything I say is going to come out is on behalf of ESPN? Like,
right.
Get the fuck out of here,
I feel like, I don't know. I understand why she came out with the statement afterwards. Oh,
I mean, excuse me. I understand why she came out with that.
Right.
I was saying it shouldn't. I thought you were talking about why she said the tweets.
No, I understood why she came out with the statement, but I feel like I don't know. I like to say if it was me, but I'm not in the situation, so I don't know. I probably not said anything because what is there to say?
I mean, I would have done the same thing. I mean, I don't want to put them in a certain light because then again, these are my views and not really the views of the company. And these, and at the same time, this is the company that did give me an opportunity to work here and have this kind of platform. So
that's
I understand.
True, but what she said had no correspondence with ESPN. That's my point. So yeah, they do employ me. Yeah, like I'm on Twitter where I'm expressing my views and beliefs, and I'm sure on more than one occasion she probably expressed her views and beliefs. So all of a sudden now, because it's the president, he's excluded from the narrative.
No, I don't think that they would have I don't think ESPN would have necessarily cared if that reporter didn't ask Sarah Sanders, whatever her name is, what what she thought about the comment, and then Trump finding out about it and things like that. If it wasn't made such a big deal by the White House, asking for her to be fired and things like that, I don't think ESPN would have even touched it. ESPN is owned by Disney. Apparently Disney is kind of owners and the top hats trying to get into the political realm, so they are taking like a leftist side of things, a liberal view of things. So I don't think they would necessarily cared. So, but they had to come out with that statement to protect stocks, to protect the business side of things, which is understandable because I would have done the same thing too. Shit. But after that, after she did come out with that comment, Fox News. I like Fox News to an extent. I like hearing the other side of things to see either how ridiculous they're going to spin things or to see if they are making some sense. Because at the end of the day, you can't really lean towards one side of things.
Trying to get both sides.
You have to get exactly. You get both sides.
Gotta get both sides.
So they Fox News brought out their the favorite coon, Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock has been just saying the dumbest shit ever, especially with this whole Colin Kaepernick thing and him defending, what's her name with when what's his God.
LeVar Ball.
When LeVar Ball came on the show, defending.
It was the lady that was.
I can't remember her name, but she made such a big deal. He's just been on some fuck shit ever since, I don't know, for I guess his whole career. And the crazy thing, I don't even watch his fucking show. Like, so he's not somebody I necessarily care about. But when I hear this dumb shit coming out of a black man's mouth, it doesn't make sense. And I'm a person where I like to hear what you're saying, right? If you are making valid sense, and even if we don't share the same views, you're gonna make sense regardless. Like, there's no need. It's valid, okay? But when you just sound like an idiot, the shit you're saying doesn't make sense. It's like, how can I even take you seriously when the shit you're saying doesn't even make sense? He remember the time he came out when LeBron said, they spray painted nigger on LeBron's house, and LeBron was like, he felt so, he felt sad by it and this and that. And LeBron,
he was like, you make mad money, like why does it matter?
You should be like, why does it matter? Like,
he's
the fuck? Like he doesn't make sense. So like, I really do. Every time I listen to him talk, I have to squint. So I could try to see the point.
Trying to tap into the other senses.
To see exactly what he's saying, if it made kind of sense to my other senses. But he never makes sense. So Fox News brought him on, and he was saying that jemele-hill is caught up in this Twitter mentality. It's a way to get liked and get retweets and this like that. And
actually, wait, sorry, can I cut you off? So with the whole like Twitter mentality and stuff like that, in regards to jemele-hill, I don't agree with what he's saying, but I think he made a point to note in terms of people, I feel like, are saying a lot of shit just to get notoriety
there is
on Twitter.
Think. There is a group
There
think
is definitely a group thing. So I think in terms of that, I see where he's coming from, but I don't think it applies in the case of jemele-hill. Not at all.
I mean, okay, I would agree with that. But just the shit he was saying, like, it just doesn't fucking make sense. And I don't know if he says these things because he is on that network and he needs to find a job or things like that, because that shit wouldn't fly on ESPN. But then again, I look at someone like Shannon Sharp, who is super pro-black, with his white co-host fuck, I hate this man too. I don't hate him, but Skip Bayless. I don't hate him. He's just a dick rider. But Skip Bayless is also, I guess you would quote a white ally. Is that what they're called? He's not one to. He makes sense, in what he's saying, but he's just a dick rider when it comes to sports. But whatever. So you have someone like Shannon Sharp, who is on that Fox network, right? Who is very, very pro-black and says these things. So you kind of wonder, like, does Jason Whitlock have to say these things? Like, or is he just that fucking Uncle Ruckusy?
Yeah, he is.
Like,
and I feel like, who you pandering to? These, at the end of the day, your ass would be gone if you say something that they don't agree with either. So you sitting here, you're trying to pander and dance around and do all this shit, and where exactly is it getting you?
But the thing is, do people even watch his show? Like, honestly, I
think people do watch his show, and that's why he feels like he got a platform to spew his bullshit, because
I think it makes so sense. He's so fat too. Not to even say like fat people, because obviously I'm not small, but like this nigga is just he's fat and stupid. Like, you can't have two disabilities, man. Like, you gotta have just pick your disability. Like, honestly, like, you can't be fat and stupid and just dumb as shit. But whatever.
He's fat and stupid, and I don't think he's gonna leave. That's why he's so fucking angry.
His neck is so fucking fat and just fucking. I hate him.
And don't he be wearing that stupid ass fedora, like that little? Yo, I really feel like knocking that shit off every time I see him. I'm like, that stupid ass fedora you wear.
It's just so dumb, and it's like it kind of leads to the bigger picture where it's like, at this point in time, like, this whole black silence, right? Where if you protest as a person of color, there's a certain way you have to protest. Like, so with Colin Kaepernick, him kneeling quietly for so long, where nobody knows until a fan finally noticed and put it out there. Him just quietly doing that, just saying he's doing this for a certain reason. To people tweeting, there's always some reason, some way that they I won't even say the white powers want black folks or people of color to protest. Like, you can't do it this certain way. If it's too loud, all right, quiet down. Nah, it's too quiet. How about this? Just stay in that corner over there while you protest, while we're over here. Like, at the end of the day, they really just don't want you to protest whatsoever. They just want you to shut up and just accept shit for the way it is. Nobody ever wants to change, get out of the comfort zone.
Right.
And it's like, it's understandable, right? I get it. I completely understand. If I was white too, nigga, shit.
The system working for me.
For me, I wouldn't want to leave that, right? But at the same time, you have to understand that if you are a humane person, like, you do have humanity in you, regardless of what color you are, you will see that when there are certain injustices, you do have to speak up for it. And if you don't speak up for it, you are kind of enabling that that behavior.
Just as bad as the oppressor.
Exactly. Just as bad as the oppressor. So. And it kind of goes back to what what's her name, Monroe Bergdorf. Actually, what she was saying about how all white people are bad and things. Not all white people. Like, white people are I guess benefit from white supremacy and things like that. Essentially, like, you really do have to take a stance on these things. If you want to make that progress. And I understand it's hard because you don't want to step out of your comfort zone. You don't want to be looked a certain way by, your peers and things like that. But at the end of the day, if you are humane, if you do have some kind of humanity in you, you would step out and fix and try to aid, downtrodden human beings, But, I'm not the one to talk about it. Let me just mind my business, I guess, and just stay quiet and protest on the corner on the side. So
you're staying quiet, aren't you?
Nah, because I'm trying to do what the white man said I should do. I gotta be quiet and protest in silence, and don't protest at all. But I guess it does lead to. I did want to point out to your question, like, with this whole Jamel situation, like, do you then have to tweet or carry yourself a certain way just because you are working for a company or you're working for somebody else? Like, are you not your own person at the end of the day, or can't you be these two individuals? You know how you have those things that pretend on Twitter where they say get you a man or get you a woman that could do both. Like, can't you be that person where you can then tweet for work as well as tweet have your own personal life, or how does that work?
Or like, when some people put in their bio, like, my views does not reflect the views of my employer. I think I guess it's a big, not piggyback, but how a lot of stuff happens, like, people say, like, stupid shit online, and then people are like, oh, find where they go to school at, find where they go to work out and do that shit. So I guess essentially, in a sense, with this situation, isn't that kind of like
exactly right?
You know what I'm saying? That's when it plays that tricky line, because we do that. When they're like, "Oh, yeah, nigga, he go to Arizona State University. Oh,
find his ass, Dean. That nigga's out. Get him out. Expel his ass out of there.
He work at Macy's. Oh,
get that nigga the fuck out of there.
No more discounts for the family. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So in that terms, it's like, okay, that person is probably speaking on whatever views they feel like, even though a lot of this shit is stupid, but that's how they feel. So if we sit there and we're like, oh, we say all these things, then it's kind of like, okay, on this front too, she was tweeting from her own personal account about white supremacy and Donald Trump being the idiot that he is. So now that I went back to ESPN, they're saying all these things. Are we then kind of teetering that line that it's not being consistent? Yeah,
we're not.
You know, and I think it's just something to think about. Even though I don't agree with, you know, the whole ESPN thing getting involved. Like, I think we do on other fronts, so we got to take a look at it as well and say, like, hey, like, this is kind of what happened in this situation.
That is a very good point. That's a very, very good point, because then we do have to kind of stay consistent. But I think there is a lot of nuance in things, and you know, we have to, I guess, navigate each thing differently. I guess because it is talking about hate and you know, and divisive language, that I guess what those other people are doing, it's okay to contact their employers, right? But if in this case Jemele-Hill is spitting facts, right? But I guess that facts could be also subjective depending on who is
looking. That's what I'm saying. Like,
right?
we're saying, I mean, it's a fact, right? But at the same time, it is an opinion, and it could be subjected. Like, people in fucking middle America and fucking Arkansas, like in their little trailer park. Let me not be stereotypical, but that's what it is, right? And they sit here and they're like, "Oh, Donald Trump is the best thing that ever happened." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's their views.
It's interesting. I think that's something that we should definitely talk about. I say tweet us. You know, ask both sides. You should hashtag ask both sides. That is something like should there be that consistency? You know, when somebody else from the right, far right says some wild shit, and we don't agree, and we go ahead and look for their employer and look for their whole family history and address and put that on social media to get them the fuck out of there. And then somebody from the left does the same thing, but then it's like, you know, say for example with this Jemele-Hill situation, are those kind of the same? Should we treat those the same? How do we navigate around that? You know, how do we say, okay, because this person is saying something we agree with, you know,
does the rules not apply?
Does the rules does it not apply? It's very interesting. But I guess it does come down to how you're treating, you know, the effects of it, right? So if a far right person is saying, you know, blacks shouldn't be able to go to school with whites, right? Who's being affected by this, right? These are, you have a large population of people where it's, you know, in this case, blacks, where they would lack education, they would lack resources that would need them to get them to the next level or be better human beings, right? Versus Jemele-Hill's case, where she's saying that, you know, Donald Trump is a white supremacist, isn't necessarily going to hurt people, or will it? You know, it depends on how you look at it. It's like, okay, you put in somebody who's all inclusive, then I guess the people who are being hurt, quote unquote, are, you know, maybe white men who may not get the, you know, who might lose that power structure in a sense, or something like that. So it's like, who's being hurt or who's being affected by these things? So it's very weird to look at it. But yeah,
that's it. We'll definitely put a pin on that and talk about that.
I think hit us up. I people really do hit us up on you know, on the phone. Like I get texts about the conversation and stuff like that
all the time. But guys, use the hashtag.
You can use the hashtag on Twitter. You know, use Twitter if you want to talk about it on, you know, your Snapchat. I guess you want to make a video of it, do that too, or actually no, or is it probably Instagram? No, just tweet us. Tweet us. Tweet us. That's probably the best way. Ask both sides. In that. But I guess
so. We moving right along.
Yeah, let's get a little lighter.
Insecure. Yeah.
The last episode of Insecure was.
What you think?
It was whack to me, honestly.
Yeah.
I felt there could have been a lot more. That whole, I kind of got the concept that what Issa was doing with the, the 30-day.
I like that concept actually,
cool.
But I think it answers some questions or some, I think, unresolved things in the finale. But I still feel like there was certain things that needed to be addressed that weren't. So I guess we'll see that next season.
Oh, it's weird. I mean, I guess we could start with the not even Lawrence, more so Aparna. That whole car scene where, like, I don't know how I feel about that whole thing where she had sex with her coworker, right? And they're all buddy, all laughing and shit. And here's Lawrence and Aparna now. I don't know if they're in a relationship, but I guess they're working towards that.
Yeah, I guess dating. Is that the word?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she doesn't seem like the type that's so quote unquote lovey-dovey. Not like an Issa or like a Molly. She seems just
it was lovey-dovey about Issa.
I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but like not in the sense where like she's all like she's very, very
pragmatic. I feel like
exactly. That's exactly where she's very independent. She's very to herself. She's very like she loves you, but it shows in a different way. So I guess with her, like what she says, if what she says is what she means,
right.
And she's not maybe the outwardly show you type, but when she says it, she actually does mean what she's saying,
right?
So this whole thing where like I guess, and this is one thing, fellas, man, the niggas sometimes give you the worst advice, bros. I'm telling you.
Well,
man,
who gave the worst advice?
Because remember when I guess they were house about to watch that Due North shit.
Yo, that shit was I
don't get
weird.
it. What is that?
What was that?
The Due North.
I guess it's a show in the show. You get what I'm saying?
But everybody was they were making, to me it didn't seem like such a big deal. Everybody was making, Due North was so funny about the whole.
No, it wasn't funny. It was just
slavery.
Yo, and the fact they made a meme out of that shit, I was like.
And but yeah, when they were all in the house and he was talking about how Aparna laughs with the ex and blah, blah, blah. And Derek was like he had to stop that shit. And
Derek is the one that's dating Tiffany or Tiffany's
married.
Husband. Yeah. Yo, that nigga ain't stopping shit. Does he look like if he rolls up on you to be like, stop talking to my wife? Like you gonna stop?
I think he told Tiffany to stop it though. But yeah, but they put it in his head that this is something that you have to worry about. Whether or not they said there's a way that was said. Like there was a way how Derek said, I had to put a stop to that shit. Meaning like, yo, Lawrence, you need to cut that shit out. If not, it's gonna get turned. So that is sitting in the back of Lawrence's mind, where it's like, okay, now Aparna, anytime she looks down at her phone, she's texting this nigga or she's laughing his jokes or doing some shit. So he's very insecure, right? Now they're in that car. She's laughing at which to me was kind of rude in a sense, and I could see how. People say I am kind of rude on my phone. Like if we're in a space and we're talking, like you're just there looking at your phone, all laughing, and like it just seems super sus. Like you weren't even paying attention to the shit he was saying. Like you were just. It laughing.
Is rude. That's why people gotta like get off their phones for once in their lives.
So, I mean, and he automatically thought that was a coworker, and she was not with the fuck shit. She's like.
No, and for real, and that's why now I'm back on the fence because honestly, you see the shit. You run. Oh my God. I can't, bruh.
And she got out there quick.
No, you need to.
She got out there quick.
It's going to escalate. Everything is going to be something. If it's not that, if laughing at whatever in the car, then, at work, it's going to be something else. It's just, girl, you got ahead of yourself. Yeah. That's it. Done.
And like I said, that's what I do. She does seem like the person that wouldn't, like she knows exactly what she wants. Like she knows exactly, this is not, no.
And we're not even fucking with this shit. Don't.
No, we're not.
And
at
that
all.
Shit,
and I fuck with her for that. And but what's so funny, when you do deal with women like that, right? As a man, it does kind of kill your ego sometimes because here you have, especially let me speak for me, right? I've always been in a situation where, I won't say I've always gotten every girl I wanted, right? But like for the girls I've invested time into, right? And by the time I talk to them, we start dating and stuff like that, they're kind of head over heels, right? So you can kind of get
Head over
away
heels?
for the most part, you know. But you can kind of get away with some dumb shit, right? So like shit that you know it's really wrong, but just because they like you enough, they let it slide, right? So it's very humbling to see somebody who says, "Nah, nigga, like you're not about to get away. Like you can, like we can cut this shit. Like I love you and all, but we can cut this shit. Like." And I've been through that.
Been like
in a sense where like I've taken advantage of like somebody's just because I got complacent and stuff like that. And it's like, yo, it's kind of dope when somebody does kind of ego check you, like yo, calm that shit the fuck down. Like I love you and all, but like this shit can't happen if you want to continue this way. And it pushes it into perspective. Like, yo, do I want to continue with this? If this is something I want to care, if somebody care about, you know, but. It's nice. Like
remember last week I was on the fence because she was extra to me. But this week when that happened and she was just like, nah, like I'm not rocking with it, I was like, good, because I'm telling you it's going to be a big issue.
I mean, I don't know how Issa and I don't know how Aparna is going to work into the next season because I do feel like Issa and Lawrence are probably going to get back because I don't know how the show is going to continue if they don't, or how they're going to, if their love story is going to just switch off to somebody else and they're going to be...
Yeah, it would be, they can introduce other characters and build off that, you know? It's just them navigating life, I don't think, even though the premise of the show was Issa and Lawrence.
Yeah.
You know, they could branch off to other things, which we've seen with Lawrence and Tasha, Lawrence and the threesome, Lawrence and Aparna. That nigga was fucking all types of people this season. So.
Okay, got it. Another scene that had me kind of tripping was, not even tripping, that Lawrence and Issa in the apartment scene when she was leaving and she told him to come get the couch or whatever. That was a very, I think that scene everybody can kind of relate to, right? Here you have somebody, maybe an ex you've fallen out, you know, you've fallen out with, you know, whatever happened, right? There's a point in time where you guys, either whether it's through the phone or through text, are kind of real with each other. I don't know if everybody goes through it, but I think I've done in the past where like you sit down, you probably think about the fuck shit that you've said to the person and how you treat the person and things like that, right? So you finally reach out like, yo, I apologize for the dumb shit I did, like things like that. Like it was fucked up, and it can go either one of two ways, right? It could go either, okay, I respect it, maybe, you know, let's just move on and go forward from there, or it could go in some sense like, all right, I love you again, let's start fucking, and
then you back on the bullshit.
You back on the bullshit again. You renew that lease to the bullshit.
It was a very mature conversation. I think it's one that needed to have. I think what for me, I guess, got me back invested in the Issa and Lauren storyline was the episode where they had like exchange of words where it got kind of ugly, and then this when they kind of like reflect and say, okay, this is how I contributed to the situation, this is how I contributed to it. And I think it was a very real and like not on some ego shit like, oh well, you did this and you did that, you know what I'm saying? Like they were able to really be real with each other. So however they take it from there. So I think because they had that conversation, and as I said from season 1, I do think they'll get back together. I don't know if it's gonna work out indefinitely, but I do think now that that window is kind of open.
There's a reason. The reason why I don't think they're gonna get back together. But I'm gonna touch on that. But before I do, that scene where they were leaving the room and this nigga Lawrence got on one knee and proposed, and they had a baby and shit. That shit had me bugged.
Yo, I was like, he's proposing? Yo, you should see my face.
Like, nigga, no, Lawrence, no. And
even I was like, no. But
with the whole baby, and I'm like,
but it was very cute. Just seeing that, it was cute. Like them on the couch being married, and then stuff like that, and everything. Like I guess the couch is.
I'm sorry. I mean.
Oh wow!
I don't know. I think to me, I like Lawrence and Tasha together. As weird as that, I don't like Issa and Lawrence together.
If I had to pick between Lawrence and Tasha and Lawrence and Aparna, I like Lawrence and Aparna. I mean, I think both of them.
I like Lawrence and Tasha versus everybody else.
Oh fuck! I think both of them have been real with him, Tasha and Aparna. Like when Tasha was like, "Oh, you're a fuckboy who thinks he's a nice guy," and Aparna on like. You know, like you be on your bullshit basically. And I feel like
So I was triggered when Tasha said that you're a fuckboy with things. He's a
yeah,
nice
I know
guy.
you
I
were.
started to reflect like,
yeah, reflect,
damn.
reflect, my nigga. That's it.
I'm a nice guy.
No,
Anyway,
TBD. So I feel like both of them been able to be honest with him. So it could go either way, but I think a partner is super real with him, and I think that's what he needs.
Lord bless them. I really don't know where Issa and Lawrence are gonna go, especially with fucking Issa going back to Daniel's couch. Oh my god!
But Dolores called him a MySpace producer in like the previous episode. I forgot what he said, like some like producers groupie jump off, whatever. That shit really had me dead. Though. I was dying. I was like, yeah, but he kind of right. like
it was just so like she really ended the season. Really ended her with her going to this man's couch. I oh man, where is
but you know, it's just
oh god.
No, I don't think it's well.
Oh god.
I think it just shows that like a lot of times we do some dumb shit. Like you said, like even though we know that we shouldn't, it's dumb because
like Molly, she can ask Molly to stay with. Like she can stay with Molly.
So, but okay, so why do you think it's dumb?
Because I think, well, here is somebody who, okay, one, you start, obviously this whole thing started with her cheating with Daniel, right? Mm-hmm. Fast forward, she finally said Daniel is an itch that she had to scratch.
Yo, she definitely did say that.
Then from there, she gets fucking a category 4 nut straight in her face, in her eye.
Son, okay, let me touch on that real quick because I don't think we have, and you have
okay. An eye?
No, no. Personally, feel like she overreacted. I can't speak for anybody else, okay? Because first of all, I think it sounds anything is fair game in sex, honestly. Unless you say your little safe words, pineapples, oranges, whatever the fuck you say. But he said, "I'm coming." You had 2 options, or maybe 3. Move the fuck out the way, swallow the shit, or spit that shit out. That's it. That's really what you could have done. So the fact that it happened, he was like, "Oh, I'm coming." He's like, "Oh shit, girl. First of all, you can magically suck dick, and you got big ass teeth, and you saying that like all this shit, and then all of a sudden, 2 seconds later, you over there, and it's like, oh, it's like the best shit he ever got. Okay, and then he said, "Oh, I'm coming," and you're like, "Oh my god, it's in my eye." First of all, you should have just spread that shit over your face, girl. Get yourself a little facial and call it a fucking day, and that's it. Like, and because I feel like. It sucks. Like anything could happen.
Yo, really, but that shit was strong.
Yo, and I'm mad. Look like pancake batter. I was like, yo, what the fuck is it? And it came out like a fucking water gun. It was like, because either way, it don't be coming out like, you know what I'm saying? Like I really was looking like
that must have been so lit because the way that shit came out. That shit straight. Yo, my goodness, it came out like a torpedo. Pew.
It was like one and done. Like it was just that's it. Like
and the way she overreacted. Like nigga, it's nut. Like, do you not know what happens when you fucking stimulate a penis? Like the fuck, I don't.
Some shit was gonna come out.
Exactly. Like, but anyway.
Yes. Back to
okay, but so she had that whole situation with him. Then. I guess they had that phone conversation where they also fell out.
But I guess I had a question about that. So, because what does he mean? Like we're even in terms of what?
I guess the disrespect. I guess I don't
disrespect know.
Then I can see. I guess with her calling him an itch. A scratch and itch.
Or like, oh, we're
whatever,
cool. I don't know. I was confused. Like what he meant by that.
And I guess depending on how you look at it, I can see why she could probably got mad. But then they still nut still came out.
Oh, that it came in her eye.
Exactly. Oh man.
I mean, is she?
Ladies, you've ever had nut in your eye before?
Have you ever nutted in somebody's eye before?
Listen, it was.
Just that laugh alone.
Oh, that's so funny, man. Be careful what you want in these bedrooms. I heard that shit burns.
Got some radioactive semen.
Come on, looking like Fetty Wap. Yo, I'm so done, yo.
Anyway,
that shit. And that shit.
So you didn't answer the question.
What?
Have you ever nutted in somebody?
I don't know, man. I don't really engage in shit like that.
Like what?
Like that.
Like
that.
Sexual activities?
I'm a virgin.
Oh, okay.
Save myself for marriage, you know.
All right.
Get the flower that night.
Ew.
Woo, lit. But yeah, I mean that whole with I don't know. For her to end up back on Daniel's couch, it's just weird. Like I don't wish Issa's personality on anybody because she's extremely awkward. I don't think she has any self-respect. I just think
what? Okay, she don't have any self-respect. How? Like why?
You're going back after all these things back and forth with this one, but you're going back to sleep on this person's couch. Like I understand we have toxic situations with people, right? But you about to go like you have friends. You have Kelly. You have Kelly. You have Molly. You have.
She want a nigga.
Tiffany.
They're not going to provide her dick and eat her pussy at night. So clearly that's why she back there. Because I think if that was the case, she would just be with them.
Well, in that case, ladies, dick is bad for you. But yeah, like I don't know, and I hope I'm really curious to see how how Lawrence is going to react to that too, knowing that she went back to stay on Daniel's couch, the nigga that started the whole issue.
Was it him that started the whole issue, or was it Lawrence's complacency that started the whole issue? You know,
lack of communication started the whole issue. I guess you want to put on something. But yeah, and you know.
So real quick, we gotta talk about Molly and Joe and the lawyer guy. First of all, I want to.
Women don't know what they want.
Okay, first of all, even what shocked me more than her, like, not that I was shocked that she slept with Joe initially because we saw that coming, but with her sleeping with the lawyer guy, so it was like a pity fuck.
I can't take him seriously though. Ever since I saw him in
Get Out,
nigga run.
he seemed like, honestly, looking at him, he seemed like a really cool guy, like in person, like.
But yeah, that pity fuck.
Like it was a pity fuck, and I was just like, damn, like okay, so y'all got the Henny cracking. You took like one sip, so you can't even say, oh, I was going off the Henny, whatever. No, like you sat there and you think he's a nice guy. You wonder like, oh, you're not attracted to him, so you know that's why you wouldn't pursue it further. But yeah, he is a nice guy and kind of has like what I guess you're looking for. He's funny, all that shit. So it's that you look over at him and it's kind of like, oh well, I guess, and then you fucked him. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just looking at that like
it was the lead up to it was kind of just whack to me. It was weird because like to me he just seemed like he had strictly friendship qualities and that was it. And I know he definitely wanted more from her. But I don't know. It's just that scene was just so weird. Like it was very, very weird because she was like
very anticlimactic.
It was pretty much like, oh, man, just fuck it.
Let me just fucking get over with. That's what I'm saying. We giving niggas pity fucks. Like you added into the body count because you felt bad.
She could have kept that body like, for a rainy day. Man.
Hello.
Like, she could have kept that body.
Now you open that can of worms to him. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Knowing that you know that he likes you.
And this goes back. And I said this shit. I said this on Twitter the other day, right? Honesty doesn't necessarily mean that a person is not going to get hurt. All right. Sometimes we are honest. True. You know, sometimes we're honest with ourselves to kind of justify the fuck shit that we do. Right. So somebody like Joe, like he may say, he tells you I'm in an open relationship. Right. Knowing for a fact that relationship is not going to go anywhere. And knowing that Molly loves this kid and still decides to continue on that path, hit her up, have sex with her consistently, because no matter how much anybody thinks, like saying, oh, we're gonna keep this strictly sexual, there's not gonna be any friend. If you have sex with somebody consistently on a consistent basis, you are going to fall in like with that person. Okay, there's always gonna be that feeling with that person. So that whole thing, especially, it's like, yo, Molly, she fucked up, man. She's on some other shit. And I hope she gets her shit together.
So you talk about self-respect with Issa. Do you feel that way with Molly?
She doesn't respect herself either. To me, I don't think she doesn't respect. She's very, very confused. She's extremely confused as to what she wants in this life, because here she had that guy who knew what he wanted. She was everything.
Daniel,
is that his name? Not Issa. I'm talking about Molly.
Oh fuck! What was his name? Lionel?
Somewhere.
Oh, something.
But here he had somebody who who had his shit together, who was ready to get married, which is everything you wanted on paper, right? Finally gets said, no, you don't want it. You want a nigga who has a wife.
Because, like we always say, things sound good on paper, but when you get in actuality, it's a dry ass, rice paper ass personality. Exactly. That's what it seemed like to me. And
she's so confused. And now she's here. She is fucking this lawyer guy, Lawyer Bay. That's what we're gonna call him. who she knows likes him, right? Mm-hmm. Likes her, and I don't know, like where is it gonna go? Like, you're only gonna end up hurting this guy's feelings. And isn't she supposed to be working with them in a few? Like, is she looking for a new job or something?
She's looking for a new job. She hasn't taken it yet, but then it could kind of, muddy those waters too. Exactly. To become coworkers.
Now you
don't date coworkers.
Man,
PSA.
That's some shit.
Or
man.
Keep it cute.
That's some shit. I mean, so I think that kind of leads to the bigger picture, which is
the nice guy get fucked over?
The nice guy versus the asshole dude versus the virgin girl or the girl with a low body count and the high mileage girl, right?
Right.
Essentially, what people want in this dating world. Because here Molly is with a guy who's married, who she said, "Oh, I don't want anything. We need to stop this." And I was so proud of her when she did that, because she finally realized that, this is hurting me. Mm-hmm. Although this is a temporary pleasure, right? I'm not getting anything out of this, because he's not going to leave his marriage. At least not from what we've seen. Mm-hmm. He's not going to leave his marriage to date you or go out with you. Right?
And even if he did, right? Let's just say that he did. Would you even feel comfortable with the fact in terms of, okay, now you guys are together, but I guess he's exploring this open marriage thing? Like, would your marriage be open? Like, I think it's other questions. You know what I'm saying?
So so now she has that, and it's like, okay, the lawyer guy was this nice guy who did everything. He was funny, respectful, did all the nice things. All right. Even though he did get the box, but that was pity sex, so that really doesn't count. Yeah. I wouldn't count that.
I wouldn't count that on both ends.
Exactly. So it's like pity sex. Then you have this guy who's, I guess in this sense, would be the bad guy, the asshole, the drug dealer, the nigga who's doing some fuck shit. And now you get the best lingerie out. And I'm thinking she's about to get this shit for Lawyer Bay. Meanwhile, Dro opens the damn door. Like, wow.
First of all, I just feel like with the whole nice guy aspect, son, I think, he's doing everything that she likes, but if you're not attracted to somebody, I don't give a fuck who you are. You could be this asshole. You could be it goes both ways, because I could find you hella attractive, right? But if you, like, your personality is off or whatever, it's not going to click for me. And vice versa. Like, if you're the nice guy and you do everything, but I don't find you attractive, it's not going to click for me either. You know what I'm saying? So I think the nice guy narrative is like, oh, because I'm nice, that means you automatically got to like me, because it's like so many fuck niggas out here. Like, I'm actually showing you something different. But at the same time, at least not right now, sometimes you could grow to like somebody. But if I don't find you attractive, my pussy won't be drier than a Sahara Desert. What am I doing with that? I'm going to just look at you like you're a friend. That's
I'm dead. I'm so dead. But I think a lot of guys have this idea that women want nice guys, or the nice guy is the way to go about these things, right? And I did come to find out that it doesn't even, to me, I don't even say if it's necessarily you being physically attractive, right? It comes down to you as a whole, especially for a man, because ugly niggas flourish. We ugly niggas, we make it out here.
Yeah, when I say attractive, I mean it's subjective, like what it means to you, like overall, like not only physically, because it be like you said, it's some guys, they're not really that cute, but you still like,
we flourishing out here.
You like
Team ugly.
Wow, like you could not that be attractive. You might not really be that in shape. You might not really have fucking hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's something about you that you're attracted to. So if that attraction somewhere isn't there, it doesn't matter how fucking nice you are. To me,
I think it does come down to how interesting of a person you are, right? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of quote unquote nice guys are also some whack ass niggas too. Like, they're mad boring. They don't do shit. If you think about it, right, the assholes or the guys, or let's say the drolls of the world, right, they exude this confidence where it's like, I can see that shit coming from a mile away, right? So you could be a nice guy, but I feel like most nice guys have this whack confidence.
They lame.
They're kind of lame. They don't care themselves. No kind of very low self-esteem. You know, they just like, I'm just gonna bring you some flowers and hopefully we're on a date, and oh my gosh, let me open the door for you and then sit down, and which is cool and all, but it's like at the same time, like walking like you own the fucking place. Swag. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I own this shit. You know what I'm saying?
That was so aggressive. You know, like, I got legit terrified for a second.
But you know,
I'm really excited. Look, 'cause I really looked at you like, wow, what is going on? Right
but I think that's the main thing. Like, a lot of nice guys are one, are lame, and two, don't have the confidence that a lot of women are attracted to. You know, like I said, you don't have to be the most physically appealing person, right?
And you don't gotta be an asshole either.
And you don't have to be an asshole, but it comes down to, you know, you having that confidence, you know, having something going for yourself, you know, and I don't know, there's a whole package to it. Like, if you're lame and you're boring, no matter how many flowers you buy or how many nice things, you're just gonna stay in the friend zone, bro. Like, you are gonna stay there. And I don't know, like, niggas, man, this whole nice guy finish last shit, you just a whack nigga.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. Because I think it's not even a nice guy thing. It's just like, you probably kind of
lame.
Right?
Exactly.
You kind
like, it's not like you don't even need money. Like, you don't even
it's not about that.
It is really your swag.
It's
a
je ne sais quoi.
You know, the way you carry yourself. It's just these things, and it's like, bro. And the funny thing, you don't have to be fake, right? You know how some guys are like, oh, I just fuck these bitches, fuck these hoes.
And I'm like,
nigga, like, bro, like, at the end of the day, like, you can still be doing that and still be a whack nigga.
Oh my
you
God,
can still be a whack nigga.
You see it every day. Yo, I just did this, that, and the third, and I'm like, oh damn. Oh, you feel better about that? Like
you can still be lame doing that. So this whole thing, like, oh, I'm gonna be, you know, fuck these bitches. I'm not gonna be smiling with them. I ain't gonna show them no love.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. Like,
fuck
bro,
them. I'm gonna
like,
be an asshole, and they be like, yo, they're gonna see that shit too.
Like, it's like, if you're lame, like, you're lame.
Yeah,
bro. Like,
own your lameness, but do it with a little swag. Like,
and I won't lie. Like, I've had some insecurity issues in the past where, you know, you do want to put on this mask to be somebody else because you feel like people are going to treat you differently. And I still work with that every day. Don't get me wrong. Like, insecurity is something I feel like you deal with.
Work out all the time.
Every single day. So every day I do have to check myself like, yo, Chima, all right, this is not you. You know, you're this person and be that person, be confident in that person to do that. And, you know, yeah, but I don't know.
I think everything just comes down to your confidence. It is not, like I said, what works for one is not going to work for the other. Some people could do the whole, like, they mess with a lot of female type shit and that works for them. And maybe that don't work for you, and that's completely fine. And it doesn't make you any less lame. It's just you lame when you just lack confidence. I think
definitely. So I mean, that's I guess the men's or the women's side of it, depending on how you're looking at it. How about for the other side?
So
like with
for the
women?
other side, like, for the females,
do you think like men are worried whether they're nice girls or you know, like, what is that thing that is the, I guess, determining factor to what it is? Because
I think for men, or again, I think in terms of, it's not necessarily like a nice girl, a bad girl type of shit. I think it's more of a sexual thing.
Yeah.
With women, for men. So tell me, Chima, like, so if someone is a virgin versus someone who's a little more experienced, you know what I'm saying? Do you look at that differently? Does that take into play? Because I know some people are like, oh, they do want someone who's a virgin or who hasn't been touched, really. And then some people want somebody with a little more experience because you don't gotta, you know, teach certain things. They can go straight into it.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, either way, if I like you, I am gonna like you. Regardless, right? But I will put an asterisk towards that. Towards the more so you being, you know, experienced, quote unquote, right? As a virgin, it might get a little annoying because you have to, you know, start over. This person might not know how to suck dick as well as you want them to, or the coochie might not just be as popping as you want it to. But, you know, over time with you know, with love and consistency, you work towards that, right? But with somebody that is experienced and has been around the block, you know, a few times or more times than few, to me, niggas do worry about body count, right? But I worry about body count in a kind of a different aspect. the only time your body count really comes into a play with me is if you've had sex with a lot of people that in the community that I'm familiar with, you know. So say for example like Temple, right? If I probably couldn't, maybe it would be kind of hard, or I have to probably come to terms with it with dating somebody who I know has fucked mad niggas that I know on in that community, right? But say, you know, you're from fucking Canada, right? And you have mad bodies out there. I don't know anybody out there or anything like that, and we start dating, and I'm really based in Philly or whatever. I mean, it wouldn't really matter much to me because, like, I don't know anybody out there. It's not like somebody can say, "Damn, that's your girl, nigga." Oh man, I know her eyes so many times. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, it's kind of weird to say because everybody says, "Oh, you're grown, this and that, blah blah blah." But like, I kind of want to know, you know, who she fucking. You know, it's I don't know. It doesn't. It's not something like that keeps me up at night. But it's something to think about. So 2 questions in terms of body count. Like you said, like who she fucking. So what if you don't necessarily know them, but like you kind of so you actually know like 1 or 2, whatever. Like, and they seem to be some like lame ass niggas. Do you look at her differently? Like, does that matter? Like in terms of like she been fucking with some lames. So like, it depends. You know, it depends because sometimes, and I think it's where men's egos do come into play. Like you kind of pull out your dicks, right? Like whose dick is longer? Not literally, right? But it's more like, you know, who has more shit going for them. Like, okay, they're lame, but here I am, this nigga, I got my shit together, you know. You kind of pull the materialistic things in play, you know, the money, you know, how you are as a person, whether you're more attractive than them and stuff like that. And, you know, that's her passport. Where she at that point in time? How is she doing? Where is she now? So all those things come into play. So if it's like you say, I'm doing a lot better than these other niggas, right? And, you know, she's in a better place now. She wouldn't date somebody that's on that level in a sense. I'm like, I mean, I guess that's what you did when you were down. You were probably depressed. You know, that was just something to get you going by. Right. But now you're in a different light, so that probably wouldn't bother me as much. Now, with some niggas, I like, and this is where I guess your insecurities do come into play, whether or not you are confident with yourself or not. You know, if it's somebody you look in the past is like, that nigga he got fucking chiseled abs, a fucking popping ass back, his chest bulging, drives a fucking G-Wagon. He a doctor. Nigga got bread. They just looking like, damn, oh my gosh. That nigga could just call her at 4 a.m. and she could just like, honey, I'm going to the grocery store. Like, that shit would kind of. And you working down ShopRite. Oh my. So like, it really does come down to who you are as a person, especially with the guy side. But I do know a lot of guys who would not date, who do ask the body count question. That's not something I can't ask that. Like, I can't actively see me asking myself, who did you have sex with? How many body? And because first of all, one, I don't want to know that. In my mind, I don't want to think that you ever had sex, even if you had, right? Because I don't want to imagine anybody ever penetrating somebody that I care about. All right now. So it's like, I wouldn't even bother to ask you that. So I don't know. It's weird, but I do know niggas who do ask that question or are bothered by it. But. So do you think, like, in terms of that, it makes a difference, like if guys want somebody more sexually experienced? And what is like on an average, like what is a body count number that you feel like, or men would feel uncomfortable with? It's all subjective, but on an average, I mean, it depends on how old you are. I think if you let's say, and I'm 25, I have a 25-year-old. Let's just say you started fucking when you were 17. I guess that's probably the age most people usually. So 17. Like 16, 17. So 17 to 25 was 8 years. Let's just say you had an average of maybe, I'd say a body and a half or 2 bodies a year. Or, I mean, it depends if you were in a relationship, right? So if you're in a relationship, you're probably just fucking that one person. Hopefully if you're not Allegedly. Issa. If you're not Issa, you're probably just fucking that one person. So let's say you were in a relationship for 17, 8 to 25, 8 years. Maybe you had maybe 2 relationships. 2 relationships. 3? 2. Okay, so that's average relationship time, maybe a year, a year and a half, maybe 2. So a year and a half, a year and a half. A year and a half, that's 3 years right there. So you have 2 body counts, 2 bodies. Damn, but so it's a math over here, the formula? Yeah, so that's 2 bodies, right? So you have 5 years to go. Let's say that, after you broke up with that person, you do go on that whole phase, you fuck maybe like 3 niggas. 3 niggas, right? So you're down to, and your whole phase maybe lasts for maybe A year.
Mm-hmm.
A year, right? So that's
solid
two.
number.
That's 2 extra years, right?
Okay.
So you're down to what? That's
6 bodies. No. So now you got 8 bodies.
So yeah, 8 bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, so 8 bodies. Like you really do have to put it to a big, like against a big picture. And but to me, you can have. I won't say you can have 50 bodies because you can have a lot of bodies, right? But also, to me personally, I can only speak for myself. It depends on your location. You know, it depends on who you're fucking, what community you're fucking with. Like if it's somebody, it's community I'm close with, it can't be.
So a number like 8 is a lot.
8 depends on who you ask, man. To me, 8 over 8 years, it's not bad.
Because I guess
that's a body a year. That's one person a year.
A body a year.
So like
average.
8
I think
over
it also
8 years.
relates. Okay, if you was in college, like a lot of people did like a lot of shit in college.
Exactly,
you know. And I feel like a lot of times, like a lot of niggas got a lot of body counts. I guess it goes into that double standard type shit.
Yeah,
but that's another conversation for another
body
day.
count. But I mean, with guys, I know a lot of, especially depending what culture you're from too. Sometimes they might just want. If you're African, most of them want virgins. So we could dive into it, but moral of the story: guys, don't be lame. Don't be on some whack shit because she will not like you. And ladies, man, good luck because niggas be switching up every fucking day. I don't know.
They want a virgin. They want somebody experienced. They want this. They want that.
I don't know.
That's why you just gotta do you,
happy,
ladies.
exactly.
That's it.
At the end of the day, somebody is gonna be there for you. I'm happy that I am where I am. So.
Where is that?
Alive.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, but I guess we've been talking for a while.
Yeah, you even still checked in at this point.
I know. But
follow us on Twitter.
I guess we wrap it up like that.
Oh, I thought you wrapped it up with the moral of the story.
Oh yeah, more. Oh yeah, do that, guys. Yeah, but I mean, you can follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, follow myself on Twitter, which is Nor Goddess, and the description. Wait, the name will be in the description box, and Instagram, which is go.bah. You
can definitely follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Same thing. ONVKWVRV. What else do I have? Do I have to plug in anything else? Email
music.
us.
Email us.
If you have any questions, you have any topics you want to touch on, you just want feedback, things we could do better, email us at bothsidespodcast@gmail.com.
And also use the hashtag.
Use the hashtag ask both sides
you guys
and add us.
So many things to say, but it don't fucking matter if you're not using the hashtag.
And tweet at us on ask both sides handle. They want to say a special thanks to Spaces Podcast Network. You definitely want to check that network there on iTunes, and it gives you a list of different podcasts that are doing there. There are so many projects coming up. We have things in the works that hopefully you guys will fuck with, and I hope that our engineers here is working super hard to bring it to you guys.
Yes, super hard.
I do also want to say there was something I wanted to say.
Music?
I can't remember what I was going to say, but I was,
you was hoping you was going to remember.
Just tweet at us, fuck with us. Oh yeah, your friends. We are not only on just iTunes. We are located on Spaces Network on YouTube. We are on Google Play. We on Spreaker
and Stitcher and SoundCloud, because a lot of people was asking about that.
Yep. So definitely hit us up. Just want to say thank you guys for fucking with us. The song of the week, the song I recently just found out about, which I am. This artist is somebody that he's just. I'm in this. I guess I'm in this new vibes mood where I like anything that's so chill, like you just vibe with somebody with. The name of the song is called Wazy, by Hameed Idowu. It's an amazing track that I enjoy it. And anytime I do like something, I do want to share it with you guys. So I do hope that you guys just listen to it and fuck with it. If you have other songs that you want to listen to, just let me hit me up. Or if you think that there are also songs that that I would enjoy,
if you got song recommendations, definitely let us know. But
the name of the song is Wazy by Hameed Idowu. I hope you guys enjoy it. I do want to thank you guys for listening to us. It is the Both Sides Podcast, and this week I didn't say my ass hurts, but my ass is hurting. But it's Both Sides Podcast. You guys have a great one. Peace.
Bye.
she feeling me cause I'm Wazy, Wazy, Wazy. She feeling me cause I'm Wazy, Wazy.